Good afternoon, my name is Alan Koh. Today's talk is on high blood pressure, very common ailment indeed, and how energy medicine supports our body's metabolic processes to improve such a medical condition in our body naturally without the side effects at all. Well, what is high blood pressure or hypertension? It's a chronic medical condition in which our blood pressure is elevated, and there are two classifications of high blood pressure. One is primary and the other one is secondary to a medical condition. Persistent high blood pressure is the one that we worry about, not sometimes got high blood pressure, sometimes won't have. Persistent is all the time you have this blood pressure that's too high. That's the one that's a risk factor for strokes, for heart attacks, heart failure, and even arterial aneurysm. And it's a leading cause of chronic kidney failure. So we've got to control this blood pressure earlier, the better. Even moderate amount of elevation of our high blood pressure can lead to a shorter life expectancy. And at severely high pressures defined as 50% or more above the average of 120/80, a person can actually expect to live no more than a few years if they got such uncontrolled, very high blood pressure. If you look at 120/80, 50% more of 120 is plus 60. That's half of 120. That means the systolic can go up to 180, and persistently on 180, we won't live more than a few years, no matter how young we are, having those high blood pressure being uncontrolled. Same as the systolic, if it's supposed to be 80, but went up to 120 and persistently at 120, that is really persistent, severe high blood pressure, where we have no more than a few years to live. Let's look at the primary high blood pressure. What does it mean first? It means that there's no medical cause being detected to explain the raised blood pressure, and it's the most common. About 90 to 95% of all high blood pressure is also called essential or primary high blood pressure. Secondary high blood pressure, as I mentioned earlier on, is to do with being secondary to a medical conditions like tumors, like kidney disease, that can raise our blood pressure. The common one would be kidneys, so it's quite a chicken and egg thing. Is a weak kidney causing high blood pressure, or it's the high blood pressure that damaged the healthy kidney? But it doesn't matter. Either way, we need to control them. What are the common classification of high blood pressure? When it's less than 120, it's normal. When it's between 120 and 139, or about 140, it will be called pre-hypertension, that we may escape diseases in the long haul, having pre-hypertension. But once it reaches stage 1, where it's 140 and above, we can be quite sure that we can get one or more conditions in our lifetime if it's still poorly controlled. And the diastolic must be lower than 90 to not call it stage 1 hypertension. What about stage 2? That's really quite, severe high blood pressure that can lead on to more diseases and faster. And that's when it's greater than 159. That means 160 milligrams of, or rather millimeters of mercury. That's the measurement, what 159 is all about. And if it's 60, or rather 100 or above in terms of the diastolic pressure, that determines whether we've got stage 2 high blood pressure or not. In individuals older than 50 years, hypertension is considered to be present when a person's blood pressure is consistently or persistently at least 140 and 90 upwards, 140 upon 90, I should say. So who can get high blood pressure easier? Absolutely those people who do not exercise very much, sedentary lifestyle, people who are obese, high fat percentage, people who are sensitive to salt and they take salty things, people who drink a fair bit of alcohol, people who have vitamin D deficiency tend to get high blood pressure easier, people who prematurely age, biological aging, will get high blood pressure. Some people they inherited a very lousy gene or DNA in mutations. They also get high blood pressure much easier than the average person. And people who got family history of high blood pressure, like the brothers, sisters, the uncles, aunties, the parents, grandparents got high blood pressure, they tend to have high blood pressure easier too. How does electric energy treatment help in helping to resolve this issue? Well, look at the causes of high blood pressure. There are quite plenty in a sense. If our kidneys are weak, aldosterone production and balancing is no good, then the volume of blood can go up, and then the heart got to increase the pressure to push this extra blood throughout the same mileage of blood vessels. So if we can strengthen our kidney, and that's what electric energy medicine do, once our kidney cells are fully charged, including the aldosterone producing cells in the kidneys, more oxygen and nutrients will go in to improve the metabolic processes, more toxins cleared, making the production of aldosterone more balanced, and therefore the volume of blood can come back to more normal from high, and therefore the blood pressure needs not to be high anymore, so the heart relaxes more and the blood pressure comes down. If it's the brain stress that's causing problem, you really got to do electric energy treatment to absorb more vitamin B complex, more omega-3, more antioxidants, ginkgo, all those things into the brain cells to modulate back the erratic electrical impulses evident in people who got stress, who got insomnia, who got anxiety. And by reducing such erratic electrical impulses through electric energy treatment, you find that, yes, the blood pressure can come down for these people who suffer from stress, insomnia, or anxiety. For liver cells, they're supposed to break down fatty substances like triglycerides and cholesterol, but if they are weak, lack of oxygen, lack of nutrients, dehydrated, poor blood circulation to them, too much toxins, all this can bring about a weaker liver cells being less able to break down cholesterol and other fatty substances. So the blood is thickened by fats like cholesterol and therefore unable to move very well. So the heart has got no choice but to improve the pressure or increase the pressure to push this thickened blood throughout the same mileage of blood vessels. Therefore, improving the liver also becomes important, and electric energy treatment does that. It causes all the liver cells to be fully charged within half an hour, more oxygen and nutrients go in, more toxins cleared, and blood circulation improved to the liver. They must improve, and therefore we'll be able to break down the fatty substances in the blood, cholesterol in particular. Therefore, the blood becomes thinner, and automatically our blood pressure may drop as a consequence. Nutrients are also building blocks to form enzymes, to build hormones, aldosterone for example, and support the specialized cells to avert diseases or to help repair them if already afflicted with the disease like high blood pressure or kidney problems, and even certain tumors. Liver and gallbladder becomes better, and the flushing out of cholesterol even more so than just the liver breaking them down. And magnetic field treatment or magnetic energy treatment is to do with dilatation of blood vessels throughout the body and therefore improve blood flow to all areas, including our liver, our brain, our kidneys, our blood vessels, our heart, and all other places associated with blood pressure problems. And any headaches caused by high blood pressure can also be reduced by magnetic field treatment, because one of the benefits of magnetic field treatment is to reduce pain, as simple as that. Far infrared, on the other hand, is to do with the removal of fat by removing more toxins from the fat cells, and most of them are fat-soluble toxins anyway. Because these toxins tend to interfere with fat burning, and as you know, people who are fatter tend to get high blood pressure easier than people with normal weights. So then now the fat burns better with far infrared treatment against the area of fat. High blood pressure may improve as a consequence. Far infrared is also good to reduce inflammations, like kidneys can be inflamed, damaged, and therefore causing the blood pressure problem. And hepatitis of the liver can cause the liver cells to be weak or damaged, and therefore blood pressure can rise as a consequence. So by reducing the nephritis, which is kidney inflammation rather, and hepatitis, which is liver inflammation, yes, high blood pressure may drop back to more normal values as a consequence. Thermoxibustion is a marriage between two treatments, the thermal heat, which is thermos, and moxibustion is the stimulation of meridian points. So this therapy dilates blood vessels directly in that area by heating it up, like the gallbladder, you put against the stomach area, the liver area, kidneys. All this can deliver more oxygen and nutrients in the area and cause toxins also to be flushed out or drained out faster, and therefore reinvigorates the damaged or weak cells. Moxibustion, of course, is the unblocking of qi flow, as I mentioned, and better qi flow to a diseased organ, better repair and recovery processes. So when you add all these 4 treatments together, you can go for them, you'll be quite assured that healthy organs will remain healthy for longer periods of decades, and unhealthy tissues can actually improve by the energy support of these diseased tissues. Thank you very much.